Okay, so in this video we're going to talk about the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula is listed here. So we have negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. The previous videos we've talked about factoring, we've talked about solving by completing the square, and now we're going to talk about the quadratic formula. These are three different ways that we can find solutions. So I have a quadratic right here. So one thing that we can do is we can factor, and this guy we could factor, but we're going to go ahead and use we're going to use the idea of solving using quadratic formula. Completing the square or quadratic formula are the different ways that we can solve. So we can factor, complete the square, or use the quadratic formula. And in this one we're going to use the quadratic formula. Our quadratics in standard form are ax squared plus bx plus c. Needs to be in standard form, written this way, in order to apply it and get the appropriate answer. So if anything's on one side or the other, we got to put everything on the same side so we can go ahead and apply this. And we're solving. We're finding x-intercepts, zeros, roots. We're finding the same stuff, okay? It's just a different way to find the information. So I know a is equal to 2, b is going to equal 7, and c is equal to 4. I'm going to plug this stuff in the quadratic formula. So I have negative 7 plus or minus the square root of 7 squared minus 4 times a times c, all divided by 2 times a. Once I plug it in, I just go ahead and start to simplify. And we'll take it step by step. Be careful, make sure you follow order of operations. Notice that we have square, so that happens first. We also have multiplication and subtraction. So in order to make sure that we don't make any mistakes with the order of operations, we do the square first, so 7 squared is 49. We multiply, 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 4 is 32. All divided by 2 times 2, which is equal to 4. Okay? I'm going to simplify what's underneath the radical. So I have negative 7 plus or minus. 49 minus 32 is 17, all divided by 4. So I have two solutions. I have plus or minus root 17. So the plus or minus gives me my two solutions. Now this is the exact value. And that's what I'm going to be asking for when you provide solutions. I want the exact value. So the solutions, or our x's or our x-intercepts, are negative 7 plus or minus root 17, all divided by 4. So if you wanted to actually get a decimal value, you just plug this into your calculator and you get negative 7 plus root 17 divided by 4. That gives you a decimal. That allows us to graph it easily. But when you're giving me solutions and I ask for a solution based on using the quadratic formula, I want exact values. So that's going to be my answer. And this is exactly how we format it. So the way the quadratic formula works out, it's set up for you, and that's your solution.